All right, welcome in everybody. I am your host and creator of the TCP SuperSystem. Bringing you a good one tonight. We're actually going to start with the gold. I'm going to show you some of the alerts today, go through the charts for those. We also got some news we're going to look at from our X page and LinkedIn pages. Should have the fiat leak flowing down there in the bottom right corner. Again, TCP SuperSystem here. It's our crypto and equity analyzer. Helps us generate alpha returns by identifying areas of opportunity. And when you put all the indicators together, it really allows us to focus in on those really good opportunities. And we're going to share those with you today. Also going to show you a little bit of our allocation performance over the last 24 hours, and we're going to start giving you some insights into our actual portfolio. We may not actually share the amount, but for those familiar with CoinMarketCap, you can kind of figure it out. But and actually we'll do that first, just on the allocations, and then we'll come back to the chart. So again, you can see it's been choppy of late. This is the last 24 hours. But what we do want to share is our allocations, so you don't think we're lying to you. So you can see our number one is Bitcoin, followed by XRP, Cardano, HBAR, Link, and Solana, and then there's a bunch of others. So again, we put our money where our mouth is. We share this information only to help ordinary people. Of course, with that, I do have to give you the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say is informational purposes only, in the hopes that it can help you in your own research and help you identify some of those areas where you may want to do some deeper research there. So with that, I do want to just show you real fast. Fear and greed coming in about 32. So we're still in that fear zone, which, as we all know, the best times to allocate, purchase, enter, whatever you want to call it, is typically in those times when there's lots of fear in the marketplace. So with that, like we promised, we're going to give you the gold first, then go through the news at the end. Again, this part of the show, there's always some nuggets with this TCP SuperSystem, and I hope you stick around. And as you will see on our screen, we do this for free. We want to keep it free, so please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you can do to help the channel. We want to engage. If you have any particular crypto asset or equity you want us to run through this super system, just put it down in the comments. We'll circle back and try to incorporate it into one of our next recordings. Again, we want to keep this thing free. It took me about 2 to 3 years to build it, so I certainly appreciate the support. So first up, you'll notice on the right-hand side, we've got a couple of alerts today, both potential trend reversals and confirmed. Some of these are really big projects like Cardano, Chainlink, SHIBA, Matic, Base. So we'll go through these, take a look at the charts, interpret it for at least how we would interpret it for our strategies and portfolio, and then we'll move on. So looking at Link today, and real quick before I actually do the interpretations again for those that are new, there's 3 components to the system. You have mean reversion stats at the top. This is our main indicator that's really looking at trend reversals and significant deviations to where we would identify those areas as potentially, or I'd say the most opportunistic times to enter or exit. And those are your dark green diamonds and the dark red diamonds on the top side. And then at the bottom, you've got 3 hot sensors. These are different time links, so there's short, medium, and long term. You're looking at 2 things here: colors and crossovers. Colors being white, gray, blue, yellow, orange, red, both to the upside and the downside. Red being those areas where you really want to dig in and look for some opportunities. So let's kick this thing off here. LinkedIn, or I keep saying LinkedIn. Chainlink, you can see today, right here, is April 19th. This is already on the Saturday's, I guess, candle. So, but we just got a confirmed uptrend signal, and you can see it's right here at 1262. We're currently at 1264. A couple things to note here on the hot sensors. We're still not above the midline. Even the mid and the long term, we're kind of in the blue zone here. That's an improvement from the previous color, which is positive, but I really want to see at least the short term do the crossover. And then we want to see if we can get up past this moving average, this orange line here. That'll give us a little bit more confidence with the trend confirmation there. And then at the top, the mean reversion, our red line's looking good. That's the more volatile line, short term. We want it to stay up above that red zone and have the orange and blue follow up and penetrate up through that green opportunity zone. So just again, and like we said in our previous videos, once you hit these signals, whether they're the yellow triangles or the yellow up labels, you always want to give it at least a day or two, just to see if you can get just further confidence and it doesn't have a significant pullback. So that is Chainlink. Cardano. It's glad to see some Cardano alerts coming in now. This is only a potential trend reversal. You can see we're getting a little choppy here. We've got 2 in the last couple days. Outside of that, you can see we here's that dark red diamond back on. Was that March 2nd? I guess we had a spike up to $1.15, then it tanked right back. And that's why you always give it a day, because basically that might be the same day. Same day we had the potential trend reversal. It spiked. It also tanked the same day. So don't like to see that. But anyway, we can see that red cloud is that confirmed downtrend. We're hitting potentials here. Again, the red fast line is going up through that red zone, and orange and blue are approaching the green opportunity zone. So this is getting pretty close, where we would want to really start paying attention here. Next thing we would want to see here is our confirmed uptrend label, and then give it a day or two, and then maybe off to the races before these hot sensors start spiking. So that's what we're looking for there on Cardano. And I don't know if you've followed the last couple of videos last week or so, but Charles Hoskinson has been active on X, indicating that we're in for something special. So we'll see. Let's look at the meme coin for you meme coin lovers out there. We'll say for SHIBA, we used to have a significant position, but we switched that over to Bonk just because we think the Solana blockchain is going to have a lot of activity, and hopefully that Bonk token can get some benefit from that. But SHIBA here, you can see we actually got 2 signals today. And here's the other one down here. So the potential trend reversal came in at, 3:06 this afternoon. I guess the confirmed actually came in earlier. I guess because of the price movement. But we got a potential and a confirmed on the same day. Our red is up above the red zone. Orange is penetrating into that green opportunity zone. And we're right at a moving average here, so we want to be real careful here, make sure we can break that thing and continue upward. And it looks like at the short-term hot sensor, it looks like we actually did get a crossover, barely. It's like maybe day 1. And you can see we've gone from that blue into the gray on the midterm, so that's an improving posture there. We improved on the long term from the orange to the yellow, so all these things are pointing to momentum for SHIBA. Obviously, given their token supply, there's got to be a hell of a lot of burning, so we'll see if they can achieve that. So let's keep moving here. Let's look at BNB, old Binance coin. That's another one here. Got a confirmed trend reversal to the upside at $591.30 today at 3:38 this afternoon. We do have a crossover, which is not a good indicator here, but that is not your death cross. That is the 100-day moving average crossing the 200. The short-term hot sensor, we've got a crossover here starting to form. Then the midterm and the long-term are approaching the midline with improving color schemes there. So that's positive indicators there. Again, red line above the red zone. orange and blue, penetrating up into the opportunity zone. So actually, as much as I hate to say it, that's probably the best looking one so far for this batch of alerts. And we bring these to you daily, so you'll have a whole nother batch tomorrow most likely. And we'll do this for the bottom and the top sides, so don't have to worry about that. Let's see, stacks. We can look at stacks, but yeah, I'm not too worried about stacks. Matic, I don't really care about Matic. We'll delete those out. So that's it for the indicators. So Cardano, Chainlink, Base, SHIBA, Binance Coin. That's your batch today, ladies and gentlemen. And again, you can see on SHIBA, this is, let me make sure that one looked the same. Interesting. So let's see. Oh, which one was that? Was that Base? No, Cardano. I'm looking for something specific here. It disappeared on me. All right. So yeah, we'll keep going. And then we will look at Bitcoin just because it's Bitcoin, and there's always news about Bitcoin. And you're about to see, we're going to have some Bitcoin news, XRP news, XLM news, and I can just go ahead and tell you, tokenization is going to be a massive theme. So we're always going to be paying attention to the X's out there: XLM, XRP, XDC, HBAR, then obviously Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we are hanging in there about 84,500. We got the confirmed on the Bitcoin daily back on the 17th, so yesterday, and you can see it's just flipping over to green. We got the crossover on the short term, not quite yet on the medium and long term. Red, we need that red line to stay where it is or go up. It's trying to come back a little bit, so we'll see where it goes. Again, I'd give this about probably another day to see what happens. The Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin. We know where that's going. So let's get into some news real fast to close this one out for the night. This is our X page. You can see at TCP _SuperSystem. And I'm not going to really go into detail through this because anyone can read, but I'm just going to give you the headliners that we basically repost things that we see as relevant. So you can see this is from Lord XRP talking about just the Ripple lawsuit being over. Banks are ready. Ripple can sell XRP to everybody. Let's turn the switch on. Let's get moving. And he posted a document. And I will say, I did have 17 years in banking, and I do think this technology can have extraordinarily positive impact on the banks in terms of saving money, especially with the cross-border payments and the in the foreign currency space. So I think big things are coming. I want to say that I know they delayed the March release of the ISO 227 to, I believe it's May, if I'm not mistaken. So that's probably what we're looking at here. Let's see, Digital Outlook. He's one of our favorite guys for XRP news and just life messages in general. And I guess he was talking about someone being debanked. I haven't actually looked at that video just yet. We usually do that late at night, but he's a big XRP supporter, so you may want to check him out. Let's see. Jack the Rippler. Eric Trump is set to make an appearance at the Dubai Token 2049. So this is massive, especially that Ripple is about to integrate XRP into the UAE Central Bank. Let's see what he has to say here.
We be living with these other rappers lying about Drizzy Drake, what? Funk Flex,
And that's what opened my eyes. I mean, I'm a hard asset guy. My entire life has been building real, hotels, golf courses, real estate buildings, right? Commercial buildings, etc. That's what I've done. If there's anybody's eyes who shouldn't have been open to the world of cryptocurrency, it was mine, other than I realized the power that these banks had, and I realized how they were exerting that power, and they were canceling businesses all over our country. It was political. It was forced. They were targeting people that they didn't like. It wasn't fair. And then you realize that there's not a single thing that those banks do that can't be done better, cheaper, more efficiently, faster on blockchain. I mean, why
True
is it
fact.
that the modern financial system runs 9 to 5 Monday through Friday? Why is it, Maria, that if you want to go get a loan and you've been banking with a certain bank for 30 years, it would probably take you 100 days to go do it, and you'd be filling out antiquated paper forms? It doesn't make sense, right? And again, that's why I fell in love with crypto, and I truly believe that Bitcoin is one of the greatest stores of value, immediately liquid, an unbelievable hedge against real estate, and something we're really...
There it is. But now, to the bank's defense, I've actually got a loan in like 5 days, 10 days max, and they actually came to your house and didn't have to go to a branch, and it doesn't take 100 days. But now, if you're slow to produce documents that they need, sure, it might take 100 days, but that's not the bank's fault. That's the consumer's fault. So, but blockchain will certainly change the way banks operate. Likely have a huge impact on branch networks, and I'd be surprised even where I'm at. We're already starting to see branches shut down because branches really aren't relevant anymore. You don't really need a branch to a certain degree, but and while I'm sitting here, look at that fiat leak. You got XRP down there trading at 207. A little bit of volume around the world. Pretty fun to watch. Kind of keep our eye on that all the time. Let's keep trucking here. XRP leading the major ETF applications. This is from Jack the Rippler as well. It shows, what's that, 4, 8, 12 different ETF filings with the SEC for XRP. Including some huge ones. So Franklin Templeton, Grayscale, 21 shares, Bitwise. I mean, these are some big players. So it's coming, folks. Let's see. Another one from Digital Outlook. Yeah, I've seen that. Let's see. XRP just passed Solana as the next top pick for the spot ETF. 19 apps for XRP pending. And this is his post from, I guess, April 15th, so 3 days ago. So good stuff there. Let's switch over to our LinkedIn page. You can see, again, Trim Capital Partners. You can follow us there. This thing's starting to grow a little bit, so we appreciate the followers there. Again, this is where we really find some really good nuggets, by the way. And we'll reshare some really good stuff. So you may want to check us out there. But this is from Cointelegraph talking about how Coinbase is improving Solana's infrastructure with 5 times faster block processing throughput and 4 times better RPC performance through asynchronous transactions and bare metal machines. And again, there's several people out there. Invest Answers is one channel we love too. That guy's very brilliant. Shares everything is supported with data, so we love that. But Solana's essentially, he calls it the black hole. It's going to swallow a lot of other chains just because of the sheer volume of activity, transactions that it's got. So Solana is obviously one of our holdings there. Let's see what else we got here. Bitcoin conference. Let's see. Based on confusion you hear from highly sophisticated people, we are still very early. That is bullish because their confusion is why Bitcoin is still cheap. Thank them for the cheap Satoshis. What we're about to see, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than a supply crunch. You've got more millionaires in the world than you do Bitcoin supply. So it's not that everyone in the world can't have a Bitcoin. Not even the millionaires and billionaires in the world can have one whole Bitcoin. And then you got, organizations competing for Bitcoin. You've got governments competing for Bitcoin. You've got corporations in their treasuries and U.S. states passing legislation to fight over the Bitcoin. So, I mean, there's just not enough to go around, folks. And I've been saying this stuff for years, but very few people actually listen. It's kind of a shame, to be honest. Let's see what else we got here. This is from Cointelegraph from Barry Silbert, the CEO of Digital Currency Group. Said he would have made more by simply holding Bitcoin, and he bought in the $7 to $8 range in 2011 instead of investing in early crypto startups. Well, of course, but 14 years ago, people probably couldn't exactly predict it would go to where it's going to go, but it's dwarfed into an asset class of its own. And people now understand the properties of Bitcoin, why it's digital gold, why it's a hedge, why it's going to compete with some of the biggest asset classes in the world, like real estate, derivatives. It's all coming to the blockchain. Let's see. Here's a Cointelegraph. Solana led all chains in Q1 25 DEX trading with almost 40% market share, almost 294 billion in volume. Let's see. That might be about it. Centrifuge. That's tokenization. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. And we actually have this article. This is about the only one I might read a little bit from. So this is from the Stellar Development Foundation, talking about tokenization, saying by the end of 2025, that's this year, 3 billion in RWA value and 110 billion in RWA. That's real world asset tokenization. They're expecting a 10x, and they're expecting that just to be on Stellar. I can only hope so. Let's take a look at that too. So we see Stellar sees 3 billion of real world assets coming on chain in 2025. They've made new partnerships with Paxos. One of our favorites, Ondo. And let's see what to know. Stellar Development Foundation is aiming for a 10x increase in the value of RWAs held on chain compared with last year. Partnerships with Franklin Templeton, Wisdom Tree. They're working with Paxos, Ondo, Etherfuse, SG Forge. See. Says they're expecting that 3 billion by the end of the year, and it'll power 110 billion in RWA volume by the end of 2025. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, pretty awesome stuff there. So I think that wraps it up. Again, I'm your founder, creator of TCP SuperSystem. We bring it to you daily. I want to keep doing this for free. Again, it took me 2 to 3 years to build this sucker. It's remarkable at identifying some great areas of opportunity. It's not financial advice, but it does work, folks. So help me keep it free. Please like, share, subscribe. I put a lot of time into this. I want to grow this the right way and keep this thing free so I can help ordinary people. And hopefully, maybe we can all just change our lives together. That'd be awesome. But anyway, I will see you in the next one. Appreciate your attention and appreciate the support. Thank you. There we go.